The story of an orphan who later became a shining star. Once upon a time, in a small village called Udi Village, there lived a girl named Ulimma. She was gentle, respectful, and loved by many. Her mother passed away when she was only 6 years old. 4 years later, her father, known in the village as Ulimma, remarried. Ulimma was a kind man with a good heart. Everyone in the village respected him. He was a palm wine tapper whose wine was the best in the whole village. People traveled from far places just to buy his sweet palm wine, and he used the money he earned to support people in need. Ulimma loved her father very much, because he always cared for her and encouraged her to be a good girl. But her stepmother, Ulimma, did not treat her well. Ulimma believed her husband cared more for Ulimma than her own children, Chinyere and Ebochukwu. Chinyere, the first daughter, was 15 years old and very stubborn. She did not have respect for anyone, not even her parents or the elders. She often skipped school and refused to help with any work at home. She always quarreled with Ulimma, even though Ulimma was her elder sister. Her mother always supported her, even when she's doing the wrong thing. Ebochukwu was different. She was calm and kind-hearted. She liked Ulimma, but her mother never allowed them to be close. Whenever Ebochukwu asked her mother why she disliked Ulimma, Ulimma would get upset and scold her. Still, nothing could stop the bond between the two sisters. Ebochukwu will always cry each time her mother is beating Ulimma. She will try to intervene, but her mother will chase her away. Despite everything, Ulimma continued to behave well. She helped old women in the village with housework, and she is so intelligent and always took the first position in her class. The villagers adored her. They always use her as an example to other children. One evening, Ulimma went to the forest to tap his palm wine as usual. While preparing to climb a palm tree, something dangerous happened. He was bitten by a snake and he became weak and unable to move. He cried for help, but no one was nearby. When it grew late and he did not return, his family became worried, especially Ulimma. Soon, villagers found him and carried him home. His family cried bitterly, especially Ulimma, on seeing the condition of their father. Everyone became heartbroken when they saw how weak he was. A herbalist was called to treat him, but his condition worsened every day. One evening, knowing he did not have much time left, he called Ulimma to his bedside. He held her hand gently and advised her to stay strong, remain prayerful, and continue being a good girl. He told her where he kept some money to support her final school year and exams. Before he could finish his words, he quietly took his last breath. Ulimma cried and rolled down on the floor like a little baby. Her cry drew the attention of the villagers. The entire village mourned him deeply. A good man had gone. After the burial, Ulimma became even harsher towards Ulimma. She stopped her from going to school and made her do all the housework alone. She sent her out every day to sell different kinds of fruits in the hot sun. Sometimes she barely ate. One day, Ulimma found the money Ulimma had kept for Ulimma and took everything. Not long after, she forced Ulimma out of the house completely. Alone and heartbroken, Ulimma wandered around the village. She slept in an abandoned building and prayed for help. One day, she saw an elderly woman carrying a heavy load. Without being asked, Ulimma rushed to help her. The old woman lived alone in a very large compound. When they reached her home, Ulimma promised to come every day to help her with housework. The old woman eventually asked her, "My daughter, where are your parents? And why are you not in school?" Ulimma told her everything. The old woman felt deep pity for her and invited her to live with her. Over time, she loved Ulimma like her own child. With the woman's support, Ulimma returned to school and completed her secondary education. Later, the old woman sent her to a vocational school and she graduated after 3 years. After graduating, with help from villagers and the old woman, she opened a big restaurant where she cooked African and continental dishes. Her food became very popular. People came from far places to eat at her restaurant. Soon, She became successful, wealthy, and well-known. Later, she met a hard-working businessman who fell in love with her gentle spirit. They got married, and God blessed them with a set of twins, a boy and a girl. One day, Ulimma returned to her father's house to see her dear stepsister, Ebochukwu. The girl ran to her with joy and hugged her tightly. Her stepmother Ujonwa was very sick at this time. When she saw Ulimma, she was so ashamed of herself, she wept bitterly and asked for forgiveness. She admitted she had treated her wrongly. Ulimma, remembering her father's final advice, she forgave her and even took her to the hospital for proper treatment. Ujonwa passed away 2 days later. She left the world with a peaceful heart. Chinye, who continued living carelessly, faced many challenges in life and returned home after her marriage failed. Her health became weak because of her lifestyle. She was infected with HIV as a result of sleeping with different men. Ebochukwu moved in with Ulimma and her husband. They sponsored her education until she graduated from the university with excellent results. Ulimma always helped the needy ones. Years later, the entire village celebrated Ulimma during a special festival. She was honored for her kindness, humility, and the way she never allowed bitterness to destroy her heart.